Presence has a strong command. Leaning up against the wall, I start to fall. Just turn around, don't stand there, come to me. You know I want you, baby. Can't you see? I'm just looking over my way, baby. Please don't tease me with those eyes, babe, killing me. Stand your ground and point your feet. Your steps making their way towards me. My heart could almost skip a beat. I'm shifting my seat. My smile grows enormously. You walk towards her with certainty and brush off what we had as just a fantasy. Turn around, don't stand there, come to me. You know I want you, baby, can't you see? Got you looking over my way, baby, please don't tease me with those eyes, babe, killing me. Turn around, don't stand there, come to me. You know I want you, baby, can't you see? Got you looking over my way, baby, please don't tease me with those eyes, babe, killing me. Don't you know that you would fit much better in my arms than hers? Don't you know that I could give you so much more than she ever did? Don't you know that you would fit much better in my arms than his? Don't you know that I could give you so much more than he ever did? Turn around, don't stand there, come to me. You know I want you, baby, can't you see? Got you looking over my way, baby, please don't tease me with those eyes, babe, killing me. Just turn around, don't stand there, come to me. You know I want you, baby, can't you see? Got you looking over my way, baby, please don't tease me with those eyes, babe, killing me. Turn around, don't stand there. Just turn around, don't stand there. Just turn around, don't stand there. Just turn around, don't stand there. It's been a while since we've seen this place. Let it all out, breaking away from the race. Dancing around with that smile on your face. And it brings me back to good old days. All my friends gather round and we'll take on this old town. Tap your glass, make it last. Time always goes by so fast. One last night to pretend there will never be an end. It brings me back to good old days. Follow me when you can't hold your own. We stumble together to find a home, talking about all the people we have known. Oh, and it brings me back to good old days. All my friends.
Hey everybody. I'm playing a fade out All right. Hi. Thanks for joining us today at our Tuesday Tech Talk. It's so good to see you, Charlie Mossbrook, Farm Board President. Do you mind, sir, kindly taking over the admissions while I do our intro? Thank you very much. You were just listening to our speaker for the day, Matt Kelsch. A little bit more about him in a minute. Thank you. Welcome to the Tuesday Tech Talks presented by Folk Alliance Region Midwest, the virtual connections division that was created in response to our deep desire to stay connected with you all during this quarantine, this pandemic. In addition to Tuesday Tech Talks, you can also join us for our peer sessions, and these new mentor sessions we've been doing have been really great as well. We've got more stuff to come, so always farmvirtualconnections.org. By now, most of you know the deal, but we do want to remind you that you'll remain muted for the presentation, which runs for about 20 to 30 minutes, and then we'll open up to your questions. We welcome you to ask your questions directly, and to do this, you just want to use the raise hand feature, which you will find hopefully in your updated version of Zoom. You will find this in the new place down there under the reactions tab. So in the lower panel there with all your tools, you'll find reactions, and it's the big bar underneath the smiley faces and the thumbs up. If you don't have that there, you may need to look in your participant window in the lower left-hand corner. If you're on an iPhone or iPad, click the three little dots and hopefully you'll find something. Otherwise, just chat me up and say you have a question. If you prefer, you can just put your questions directly into the chat. And as I said, the chat feature is only allowing you to chat directly to the hosts. Sorry, but I get confused by a lot of chatter. And I'm going to ask that you send your questions directly to me, not to Matt. We don't want to bombard him with questions as well during his presentation. So let's see. That's it. Without further ado, I shall do what I said in very large letters on my screen here and hit the record button. Yay! Wow, so far so good, people. I'm following my script and everything. I'm really excited to introduce Matt. You know, once again, our community has connected us with somebody that is new to our community, which I love. I love that Matt is getting to know us and we are getting to know him. He's a California resident. To be honest, I'm not sure if he's a native, but we reached out when we knew we wanted to do a talk on Bandcamp. We reached out to our friends Amber and Sav Beist, Sav from the Accidentals, who's given a number of tech talks for us, and Amber's been a speaker as well. They're super well connected with folks around the whole country, and they recommended Matt. So we are super excited that he's joining us today. Matt has had some huge success. He's a recording artist. He's out in California. He started working with Bandcamp back in 2011 when he released his first record. He's got a pretty healthy presence there. I don't know, thousands of plays. He's a popular guy. So check him out. We're going to put some links to his stuff in the chat. But without further ado, I would like to introduce you to our speaker, Matt Kelsch. Hi, Matt.
Hi, can you hear me?
We can hear you just fine. I just
All
want
right.
to say hi before I escape.
Thank you, Annie. I appreciate the introduction. And thanks, Charlie, for helping out too. All right. So I'm going to share my screen just so we can start with some notes about Bandcamp. So let's see here. I'm going to share the top screen. Let me know. Can you guys see that? Thumbs up. Okay. All right. So yeah, as Annie mentioned, I released my first record in 2011 on Bandcamp, and I also did a Kickstarter at the time. And so it really helped for me because I didn't have a website at that time. So it was really great because it was a quick and easy way to get my music uploaded and available to everybody in a very concise and clear way. So that was kind of my first experience with Bandcamp. And what I thought was really great about it, these are just kind of my notes here, was that the account itself is completely free. There's no fee to upload. your tracks. It's pretty seamless. It's pretty easy to do, as well as uploading your, any of your artwork. You can also sell any types of physical products on there as well, including merch like t-shirts and stuff. So that's really great. And the motto of Bandcamp, like their general motto is that artists should be compensated fairly and transparently for their work. So, that's a great motto to have. They usually, for the most part, take 10 to 15% as their commission, their revenue share. So it's 15% on digital items and 10% on physical goods. Fans have paid artists and independent labels $705 million using Bandcamp, just 21 million in the past 30 days alone. So that's pretty incredible. It's a great way to really know that as a fan or a consumer, that your money is going to the artist, to the band, or the composer. I think that's the best feature. Let's see what else we have here. Bandcamp Pro, as an artist or musician, this is if you want to upgrade just a little bit and have some of the deluxe features. For instance, like a batch upload. Say if you wanted to upload 15 tracks at once and then walk away and make a cup of coffee, come back, everything's uploaded for you. If you just have the regular account, you're doing it one track at a time. It's not too much of an issue. Targeted messaging, so you can talk to fans in specific cities. Like you can really drill down and message like a certain city if you're seeing a lot of plays from a certain area, and you're going to Portland or anywhere in particular. You can message those people directly. That's kind of a nice feature. Whereas, say if you're on Spotify or Apple Music, you can see where your fans are listening, and you can kind of break down the statistics to see geographically where they are, but you necessarily can't message it. You can't send messages to those people. Ad-free video hosting, like if you're hosting any videos on here or doing a live stream through Bandcamp, you can do a setting so you don't have to, so there's no ads. Let's see, private streaming. That's if you want to just do kind of like with SoundCloud when you release something and just keep the link private. You can do that just to pass it around to press beforehand, or to certain fans that you want to, just share it with privately, or maybe bandmates or another collaborator. You want to have them kind of review something before you launch it. Deeper stats, just knowing where people are and how they're finding you, similar to Google Analytics or some of the analytics you might see with Facebook Business Manager. You can really drill down and see which device someone's using, if they're using an iPad or an Android device. That's helpful too, if you're interested in collecting that data. Same with their browser that they're using. If they're using Safari or Chrome, all the different browsers, you can kind of look at information like that. Google Analytics, there's a way to link to Google Analytics, similar to the way that you could link the Facebook pixel to your website. It's pretty similar. You can kind of connect between Bandcamp and Google Analytics to track, who's embedding your music, where tracks are kind of performing, if something's more popular than another track out on the web. And then another interesting feature called optional streaming. So say if you have 10 tracks on your record, but you want to hide one of them, and maybe you're hiding the one that's the most successful or the strongest or the one that's the most viral, you can hide that one. So, maybe if you're a more established artist and you want to expose people to your deeper cuts, but you want to keep your single, and you want to have your single released exclusively somewhere else, or you don't want everyone to have access to it to be able to stream it for free. You can hide that track. So those are some of the features for Bandcamp Pro. That's $10 a month. And then if you're a label and you have, multiple artists that you're organizing, you can pay $20 a month for up to 15 artists, or $50 a month, and that's unlimited artists. So yeah, if you have a big group and you're kind of managing all the statistics, that's really helpful as well. Okay, so just overall, some things to think about. What I really love about it, it's simple and easy to use. There's the large play button. It seems like it's very reliable. Like whenever I tap it, it plays pretty quickly. There's usually a little lag time. It's pretty seamless. Fair pricing and fair compensation for the artists. Worldwide music distribution and merchandising. Like if you're selling any of your clothing items. And they like to refer to it as a micro site, which is a good term, I think, to use, because if you don't have your own website, you can really customize it and give it a nice aesthetic. Let's see, communication. Fans can send messages to the artist directly and easily. That's really helpful. You can email the artist. You can also gift. Like if you have a record that you really like, you could gift that artist to somebody else. You could gift that record to someone else. It's kind of a neat feature. These are more technical terms. This is FLAC. This is free lossless audio codec. So it's think of it as the quality is going to sound as good as a CD. It's typically half the size of a WAV file, so it's not going to be like a 50 megabyte file. But you're not going to lose any of the audio quality. There's going to be, no compression or anything like that. So you have the ability to allow your fans to download the music at FLAC or the MP4, MP3. So you can give them options. This is another kind of technical term, API. That's application programming interface. So that's if you want to drill down further in your ordering process in your merchandising, and if you want to, track specific orders, like say you have a product that has a SKU and maybe you only have a limited supply of them, you can kind of track how many go out the door, and you can just kind of customize it a little bit more. And there's some programming you can do, and it's a little bit more technical if you want to take it to the next level. Some cons, these are kind of my my personal opinion, what I think. It's not maybe the best for streaming or discovery. I would say it's more of like a selling platform. There aren't really any playlist features per se, but they do have like a radio feature, and they feature different artists every month to kind of help people discover new artists and bands. But in terms of just kind of cruising through, like if you're on Pandora or you're browsing through the coffee shop playlists on Spotify, it might not be the same exact experience as that. But yeah, I mean, I think overall it's a great platform, and it's a good way to, I think at the launch of your music, it's awesome. If you want to launch with something like Bandcamp or Patreon or a Kickstarter, it's great because you can collect that revenue from all the people who are really, really excited about you and support you in the first wave, or even do maybe like a pre-release, a VIP release, something like that, and then release it to Spotify and Apple, or kind of experiment and do both at the same time. But I do think if you have a group of people that are following you and they're really excited about what you're doing, if you can capture some revenue from them, right out of the gates up front, I think Bandcamp is an awesome platform for that. I just put this as kind of a reminder, look at the streaming rates for Spotify, 0.00397 per stream. It's about 100,000 streams will get you $397. So if you think, hey, I sell 40 40 records at $10 a piece, there's your $397. That's comparable to Spotify, similar to Apple Music. So just some stats there. But any questions so far? Or is my audio okay, Annie? Everything cool? Okay, I'll keep going.
Sorry, I had to mute myself. But yes, yeah, no, this is great. I was just those stats are kind of like really eye-opening if that isn't a reason to go put your music in Bandcamp.
Yes, yeah.
Cool.
For sure.
Yep, it's going great.
Okay, cool. All right, so let's take a look at what it's like to be just a consumer or fan if you just kind of pop into Bandcamp. So they have this nice banner here. They have over on the right here, they have the best hip hop on Bandcamp in March, the best tapes, and the best metal. So, when you click into any of these, it's going to give you a list just like any other site. And, you can see all the artwork. It's really nice. Kind of cool. They feature that right up top here. Let's see, it says get fresh music recommendations delivered to your inbox every Friday. It's pretty neat. This is cool. This is like almost like a marquee or ticker of some kind. It's selling right now. This is all the transactions that are happening in real time around the world. That's pretty cool. Might get some people excited as they're cruising through here. Another awesome feature, which is pretty new, I think, in the last year or two, is the ability to live stream right on Bandcamp. So you can set it all up, and people can pay their price right here. It's pretty clear, pretty easy to use. Like if you went here, he's letting you name your price, which is an awesome feature. Instead of paying the flat rate of $10, you could pay more if you wanted to. I think this convert is probably for converting to your currency. You can even include a message to the artist. That's pretty neat. And easily add yourself to their mailing list. Check out with credit card or PayPal. That's pretty great. This artist has some merch down here. It's pretty clear. Everything's seamless. So I would say it's a clear and concise graphical user interface for the fan just looking around, browsing, or say if someone gives you their specific Bandcamp page, it's pretty easy to use. So that's that as a consumer. The other thing I wanted to show you is on my phone. Let's see if I can share my screen. Start the broadcast here. Let's see if this will work. All right. It says it's broadcasting. Whoop.
Hey, Matt, you may have to unshare your desktop first.
Okay.
That'll work. Yeah.
So let's try this. Stop share on the desktop. Then I'm on Zoom here. Let's see, one more time. All right, can you see that?
Yep, great.
Okay. All right, so now I'm in the Bandcamp app if you're on a phone. And I'm on an iPhone 11. I'm not sure what it looks like on an Android, but this is kind of just the screen that pulls up if you are a fan or another musician just checking out other artists. Pretty easy. I'm just scrolling down. You can tap this if you like it. You can use this middle button here to share it. If you want to share this out to other people in your contacts via email or text. Jump over to this music feed here in the middle. This is going to kind of give you recommendations based off what you've engaged with or purchased or followed in the past. It's kind of be built off of all those actions you've already taken. What else do we have here? Bandcamp Radio. This is what I was talking about earlier. So this is kind of like the Apple radio feature, you know, there might be like an introduction, someone speaking at the beginning, the DJ, and you know, they're giving you a playlist, or just an ongoing radio playlist of different categories. It's pretty cool. A lot of awesome artwork here, and you can tell a lot of the artwork has maybe like a little bit more of an independent feel. That's nice too. Okay, so that's, and then you can cast this too if you want to cast this to like your Sonos or another wireless or, you know, feature. Okay, so I'm going to stop this cast, and then I'm going to start the one on my screen again. Okay, we're back here. All right, so that's just looking at it as a consumer. Okay, so now if you scroll down to the very bottom, you can sign in as Bandcamp for artists, Bandcamp for fans, is what we just did, and then Bandcamp for labels if you're a label. So if I click on Bandcamp for artists, and then I have my page pulled up here. So they give you this banner area, and you can do other, you know, additional tweaks with these side banners with the wings. It's kind of cool if you want to customize it even further. So on the right here, they give you some space for some text. You can enter your bio or some quotes, some links. Down here on the right, they start like this column of your discography. You can kind of see each of your records played out here. And then contact, if you want to contact the artist, or a redeem code. Say if the artist gives you, you know, a redeem code so you can, you know, download a certain track of theirs. That's kind of a neat feature too. So for instance, what else can I show you here? If you want to click on like merch, here's some physical merch that you can put on. You can mark it as sold out if something's sold out. Like here's a flash drive that I made. You kind of put your description of what it is. So I have this one set to buy now, and the person can pay $20 or more. You can also indicate how many units are left in your inventory, you know, so if you want to kind of maybe create some demand that way, if you say, you know, you only have like 6 items left, that could kind of maybe excite people or entice them to make a purchase if they know that there's a limited supply, or if they see that supply, you know, dropping over time. Let's see, under community here, this is like if you're posting regularly, or every time you post something about your music, or you post one of your singles, it's gonna kind of be on this wall here, and that's kind of a neat feature too. So yeah, if you click on music, you can just see each of your releases here. Let's see what else is going to show you. Let's go back. And then they give you like your stats. If you want to drill down and look at all your stats, they give you like an orders section, so you can see which orders are shipped out. Then over here, this is where I was talking about those merch orders API. This is like if you want to get more specific with it and add SKUs and different and track different items. That's another feature. And say, let's go back here. Say you wanted to, say like I was about to release a new record and I wanted to add a single. Let's say I was adding a track. This is the view. So pretty easy, pretty seamless. You can just add your album artwork right here, add your audio as a WAV file, AIF, or FLAC. You can say if it's part of an EP or if it's just a single, naming everything, your pricing. So they even give you like a suggestion on what pricing performs best. I think usually I do $1 or more. And they say that if you always leave that option for or more, you know, you're always bound to have someone pay more anyway. And then that's a pretty cool feature. You can't really do that in Apple Music or Amazon or any of the other platforms out there. then all the, you know, descriptions, lyrics, track credits, you can really give the fan a lot of information. So they don't kind of have to go like digging around your website or like searching on the web for your lyrics. You can just have it all right here in one, one concise place. Yeah, pretty standard. What else could we put under here? Yeah, so that's pretty standard. Let me just show you a couple minutes. Let me just show you a few other artist pages, just so you can kind of get an example. This is Ray Zaragoza. I booked her a few times and done a songwriters round with her. She's a fantastic artist, based in Long Beach right now. But you can see, you know, she has some really beautiful artwork. You can buy her track for 99 cents or more, or buy her entire discography for $27.70 US or more. That's pretty neat. Look, if we look at music, we should be able to see her discography all set up here. Looks really nice. Let's see, another person, Sam Chase. He's over in Boston, Massachusetts. Let's see, does it let me share the audio? I'm not sure if it'll let me do that.
Yeah, you can click up in the, if you hover over the options above in the drop down of the screen share, there should be an option under the three dots.
Let's see.
It says share computer sound.
Oh, share sound.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let me give you a quick snapshot of like Sam here.
Don't let it go or forget. It's time to take a stand. Lift me up 'cause I'm falling.
Yeah, so audio sounds awesome. He's got a full length album on here. He even has a little contest. Pre-order the album to be entered in a free in-home concert. That's pretty cool incentive. I think this was from a while ago, but that's kind of a neat little incentive. Let's see, we have like Lucy and Lemaire. She has a lot of color here. It's really interesting, engaging. A lot of contrast. It's cool. You can see all of our releases over here. A lot of color, very vibrant. Let's hear Lucy real quick.
Oh, this love's a roller coaster.
A little bit more pop. Yeah. Alpha's an awesome artist. You can see she has a video. She's using the video feature right here. So you can queue up a music video of yourself right on the front. Let's see, you can also see supported by. You can see all different people or artists that have contributed to the song or the album. That's also a neat feature. It kind of has a little bit more of a community feel. Sometimes with some of the other platforms, it can feel a little stale, like you can't really see how other people are reacting to it. You're just seeing like statistics, and it can be a little bit dry. So here's Alpha.
For true love, don't wanna be the girl on the side waiting for her goodbye, holding out hope that you'll finally find them.
Yeah, so there's some examples of some artists in different pages. This one's Jay Saros. He's in Situate, Massachusetts. He has like this Live at Home record he just released. So maybe that record isn't on Spotify, but it is on this platform. Maybe he just wanted to do, something more intimate, or for just fans that he knows really well. You could do something like that. That's another cool feature too. Like you could try out a record or just kind of put something out there that maybe is more independent and more, acoustic driven, something stripped down, and maybe you're more studio, polished studio releases are just on Apple and Amazon or something like that. Another thing to think about. So yeah, those are just some artists, kind of give you different views of the page. I think that's all I have to say. terms of my talk. I hope I didn't go too far over the time, but I can stop the screen share and then take some questions, or I could just leave the screen share going, I guess.
Yeah, we've got some hands up too. I see hands up, and that's great. Yeah, I guess it doesn't hurt to keep the screen share up in case you need it. Although, I mean, I
Sure.
can face, so that's cool.
Okay.
Yeah, I took a lot of notes. I have to say, chapstick.
Oh, you saw the chapstick. Yeah.
Uh-huh. There's a
Yeah.
product.
Yeah. The chapstick, you believe it or not, is like gets people more excited than any other item I've had. So I don't really sell a lot online per se, but I do keep them on stage in a little next to the merch box or something.
Yeah.
And sometimes people just grab one. I don't even charge them. Sometimes they just drop in a 20 or something. It's like, I don't know. It's just like another little marketing.
Yeah, man. It's good
Yeah, I don't
swag.
know.
That's
Yeah. You can
good.
put.
Would have thought.
Yeah, you could even put like a secret link on there or something to Bandcamp or to something on your website.
Yeah.
Only people with the chapstick can access it or something exclusive like that. I don't know.
Yeah. This might be more than we can show here without maybe going through the process. But I personally, so when you buy something as a consumer, when you buy something from Bandcamp,
Yeah.
what does the download then look like? Does it just come, is it like obviously if it's a one song, do they deliver it as a link to stream it, or is there an app? I mean, like you said, the app on your phone. If I bought music on Bandcamp, would that like show up in my app to be able to play it from there? You know how like when you buy something on iTunes, right? You get
Right.
it shows up in your iTunes. So I don't know if this is the same or if you're actually just downloading the music to your desktop and then you got to put it in a player somewhere, kind of thing.
Yeah. So if you're on your desktop, you're downloading the actual digital file just the same way you download like an MP3 or MP4, or if they give you the high resolution FLAC file. So you have that on your computer.
Yeah.
And if you're on your phone, you'd be able to access it on the Bandcamp app. I'm not sure if you'd be able to like open up iTunes or Apple Music or Google Play and access that same file. I'm pretty sure you could. I'm not exactly sure on the phone. But yeah, once you download it to your desktop, you can move it around and drag it into any library, just like you could do with any file. So you could drag it over that way if it didn't work, directly through your phone. So
yeah. And you can sell physical merch through Bandcamp. I mean, obviously you can sell but physical CDs, right? You're not just selling downloads. It's just
Sure. Yep.
Cool. Okay. I do want to say something that Joel Simpson mentioned in the chat, which I think is really interesting. And maybe our friend Sue Kessel, who is in the house, can chime in on this if she has an opinion. But Joel says he's heard that folk DJs seem to prefer Bandcamp as opposed to SoundCloud as a way to deliver downloadable audio with metadata tags. Any indication, or have you heard anything like this? So like, and we didn't really go through step by step, but when you're uploading your own music, you're entering your tags, and the metadata that you enter there is it pretty much what's embedded in the file that you open is what's going to be read in the download, or can you change that when you're uploading it? I'm sorry, I'm asking weirdly technical questions, but
yeah. So if you were uploading a track, you can, or you should always indicate your ISRC code. I forget what that stands for. International source something.
Recording something. Yeah.
Yeah.
One that gets you paid for digital, right?
Yeah. So you want to, and you want to make one of those codes for each of your tracks as you go. I just have I remember I registered like at the beginning 10 years ago for my ISRC code, template code. And then I have this Excel file. And every time I release something, I just add a number to each one and kind of go down the list. There's like a certain format you're supposed to do. So yeah, you want to make sure that code's there. That's gonna track the song. Like if someone's takes the song and then downloads it, and then they start playing it somewhere else, it'll kind of track track the statistics.
That's not
But
necessarily picking up the stuff from so if you import the file from your audio CD, supposedly all that Grace Notes data and all that stuff, metadata, is embedded in the track already. It's when
right.
you upload it to Bandcamp, you still want to make sure that you're putting all this in here, right? 'Cause
Yes.
what's going to show up in the download.
Yes. Yeah. I would still put everything in here. But anything, yeah, like when you made the master file, if there's anything in that master file, like in the actual file that you embedded in there, that should stay in there as well. But I think you're asking, what was it? Oh, it was about the folk radio, right?
Oh, right. And yeah, so to the extent that I think, and I want to follow up with this because Sue Kessel, who's a folk DJ in the house, is asking, does it cost the artist to supply a download link for a whole album to DJs?
No, because you could give someone
you can gift your music, right? You can do
you could gift your music. Yeah, you could give someone like a redeem code, like that feature. Oh, it's not on this page. There's the redeem code, and then there's a way to give someone a link, and then they can download it. I know that's possible. I think with the Bandcamp Pro, that's for like private links if you have the Bandcamp Pro. Another way around that, I mean, you could, like, I guess if you wanted to give someone a link, you could just upload the track and then let the price be $0 or beyond, and someone could just put in $0 and then you could flip it back to $1 more, like after they downloaded it or something. I don't know. That's a way around it if that's not available, but yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure that's possible.
Yeah, I think it is. I think Joel Simpson is one of our members. He's here and he has his Bandcamp for his label.
Okay.
So all right, let's open to questions. Julia, I see your hand up. You may unmute now.
Hiya. Thank you for having this talk. I have a couple of questions, so I'll just ramble through them and you can decide what to answer or not to answer. First off, if you have these features on your website, is there an advantage to also having these on Bandcamp other than to just have them on another platform? Because obviously, if you have it on your own website, you don't have a commission that you need to take out, or is there an ethos around this? Especially as you had mentioned that it's not a music discovery site. So that's my first question. My second question is, at the same time, they did have those promos where, hey, this music that's been uploaded for this month, is that based on stats, or is there somewhere an artist can submit their music for consideration? And then third is, my understanding is that Bandcamp does not have an agreement with the MLC, which can make it another level of complication if you're uploading any cover songs. And I'm wondering if you have any advice or guidance on that.
Okay, so the first question was about the website. I would say the biggest advantage to this is if you're like maybe an artist without a website, or there's like a demographic of people that trust Bandcamp over your websites, because sometimes selling music on your website can be a challenge. Like if you don't present it in the right way, people might not trust and put their credit card number or PayPal into your website. Like it's definitely more work to get Shopify, or like I have Squarespace business account, and it's definitely a little bit more work and time to get that all set up. I feel like Bandcamp is a really fast way to present your music to people and have them trust and put money into the system without feeling like their credit card is going to be compromised. In terms of like there being a real difference between the two, I don't really see a difference between what you'd be able to offer on like a Wix or a Squarespace account versus like a Bandcamp account. I see it's pretty similar. Obviously, if it's on your website, yeah, no one's taking a commission, unless they're taking a commission on that credit card transaction, or if you have a Shopify account, you're paying that monthly fee for that Shopify account or that Squarespace account. Whereas on Bandcamp, you're not paying a monthly fee to have the account. It's just free to have. So yeah, if you're just starting out or you're just kind of experimenting a little bit and you have, $500 in sales or $100 in sales or whatever it is, $1,000, maybe this is a good way to kind of get your feet wet and, sell some music and expose people to your music without having to put all these upfront costs into the web store section of your web page. That was the first question. Second question was about, oh no, I'm starting to forget. What was it, Julia? It was about, she's still there?
Yeah, Julie. Oh, sorry. You have to unmute yourself again. Hang on. Let me find you. There you are. You can unmute yourself again.
All right. The second was that there are these features on the front page, and so I'm wondering how artists are selected for these.
Oh, right. Like this one, like the best hip hop on Bandcamp.
Yeah. Is that stats based or is there a submission process?
I haven't seen any submission process for this. Maybe it's stats based. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't work for Bandcamp. I don't know. Let's see here. Let's dig around.
Or Bandcamp Radio or.
Yeah, I haven't heard. Let's look down at the bottom of the homepage. Let's see here.
And just a little FYI to the first thing, Bandzoogle as a site offers a lot of these things, and I'm not advocating for one or the other, but that's where the basis of my question came from, because a lot of these features seem familiar from the back end of that website.
Okay. And Bandzoogle, is that a free one? I haven't used that one yet.
No. Yeah, and actually, Julia, I'm gonna just step in on that because Bandzoogle's on my list of things to do a tech talk on, because I actually think they're a really great outfit, but it's different than I'm gonna just take just a quick, not to disagree with our speaker, because he did say this was true, but I feel like Bandcamp, there is some discovery options here. Like if you're putting your music out there and you want people to hear it, and I think that the more places that you put your music, yes, it's about maintaining it, but to me, the benefit of putting music out here on Bandcamp is like having this one-stop shop that you can send people to buy everything. And the interface from what I've used, which is not that much, seems really easy. And I like everything you said, Matt, about the fact that people can be more comfortable using a platform like this to buy merchandise. But yeah, I don't know that we want to get into how to get on a playlist right now. Let's see how time goes. But that sounds like something we could invest in.
I just meant in terms of the promotional capacities of this site. As you mentioned, like if it is a discovery site, these.
Yeah.
If that's not of interest, no worries.
No, of course it is.
Yeah, I'm sure it has to do with stats. Is one of, if you sell, 5,000 copies, I'm sure it alerts the group there, and they kind of put you on the page here. I'm assuming it has to do with stats, and maybe there's a submission process too. I'm not aware of it. I just looked at the website. I didn't see anything in particular for that. But yeah, just I would say as a discovery platform, it is showing you, it's presenting you a lot of artists like up front here. But it just might not be as categorized as like, on Spotify, when you just want to like focus on the singer-songwriter playlists, and there's like tons and tons of playlists and user generator playlists. Like all of us could make one and share it with each other. I don't think there's a user generated playlist function on this yet. I'm not sure. I haven't seen that, unless I'm missing it. Obviously you can go through here and look at all the different categories and genres. But I don't know if it's necessarily like a playlist of songs that's just going to start playing for you. So And then the third question was about
the MLC. So I did two. I just released an album of protest covers before the end of last year, and I just released another one. And there was a big difference since the incurrence of the MLC about posting on Bandcamp. I am on Bandcamp, and the first album could be on Bandcamp without there being an additional license needed. And covers now on Bandcamp need a different kind of license. And maybe that's also a level of technicality that's not for this forum, which I understand. But if you had any advice about that, you need a completely separate license for Bandcamp, right? Since the MLC, you don't have an agreement with the MLC.
Julia, will you say what spell out what MLC stands for?
Music Licensing Collective, which is a government mandated collection agency for interactive streams. I don't want to speak with any sense of expertise. It's just that in my process of getting licenses for a digital release, there was an exclusion with the MLC regarding Bandcamp saying we have agreements with YouTube and all of these other digital platforms, but Bandcamp had chosen to opt out of being a part of that umbrella.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I'm not aware of that. I mean, I released this song, this record in 2015, and I have Number 41 by Dave Matthews Band.
Well, the MLC started January 1st.
Oh, that's this year. Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe that's a new yeah, that must be a new policy. I'm not aware of it. And you know, at the time, I think for when I did the Dave Matthews song, I think I did like what you were describing. I went through the licensing process, and I paid whatever it was, $50 or $100, and that covered a certain amount of downloads and streams that I estimated would come through for that particular song at the time. I don't know if it was based on years or how long that was going to cover me. I don't know. I should probably look at that
downloads.
again.
Your suggested number of downloads, and then you're supposed to check in. And if you've gone over that number of downloads on its various formats, then you're supposed to re-up the amount of money that you pay into the licenses to make sure the songwriters get paid.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I would say if you're going to release a cover, maybe just keep it to your website and to your YouTube channel, and just make sure you get proper clearance of it, and do all the documentation you need to do. And if you're not allowed to put it on Bandcamp as of the 1st of 2021, that I would.
It's not that you're not allowed; it's that you have to have a different license.
Oh, what's the name?
An additional, like the license that you would use for Spotify, for example, or for your DSPs. Mm-hmm. Bandcamp is a separate license. I believe you have to have a mechanical license for it to be on Bandcamp.
Okay, so.
But I'm not 100% sure. There was just something that was unique about Bandcamp because they chose not to be a part of the MLC collective.
Got it.
Julia, I'm going to bug you again. You said DSPs.
Mm-hmm. So that's going to be how you get your music online. For example, like DistroKid, TuneCore, CD Baby are ways for you. They're sort of aggregate providers for digital streaming platforms.
Right. But yeah, I've never heard that term DSP, digital streaming platform.
Let me just double check before.
Well, digital streaming platform would be iTunes or Apple Music or Pandora right? So the services that get them there. I'm writing acronyms down because these are new ones to me. Mm-hmm. I like hearing them, and I like understanding what they mean. So, and honestly, we're getting a little off scope here, so I appreciate the conversation, but we do have some people who are really familiar with licensing that I don't know if we can coerce into doing a tech talk for us, but we'll have a chat after the fact. So yeah, this is great stuff. Thanks, Julie. Julia, do you have any more questions? I think you were done. I think that was the end of it. Okay, raise your hand if you had something else. All right, let's move on to Mark. Mark Black, sir.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
Hello.
Matt, you did a really nice job. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
My first question I have a couple questions. The first was actually between about Bandcamp and Bandzoogle, but it's kind of been answered. Well, you haven't really explored Bandzoogle, right?
I haven't. No, no. I guess I should if you guys think
Well,
it's.
Well, it
Mark, I'm gonna
kind of it's a website, kind of simple to put together, and I think it's a pretty good, from what I can understand, it's a pretty good partner with Bandcamp. It seems that Bandcamp is very straightforward, almost old-fashioned in a funny way, and I think that's why people are comfortable with it. You know, it kind of feels like you're just going to the store and buying something. And if you have quite a few albums, like I have, it's nice because you can have a page where you just show all the records, you know, and it's just simple. There it is, and it's kind of cool. I would, and I had another question about how CD Baby fit into this, but I guess I see now that CD Baby really is the service that will get your music out to all the other platforms. And so it's not really, it also works in combination with Bandcamp. But just let me ask one more question, since my other questions have been answered, thankfully, is about bonus tracks. You know, that's been, I don't know if I wasn't mentioned today, but I have read, I forget where it was, that one of the things that people like and one way to encourage digital sales is to offer, you know, let's say you have an album that's got 10 cuts on it. Then you offer the same album, but you're going to add like another cut or two that's only available in this way.
Mm-hmm.
Have you done that? I wanted to know if you've done that, and if you have, how do you communicate that?
I have not done that, but that is a great idea. I like that idea. I think one way you could communicate that would be, you know, with you could put a banner on so when you release the full record, say on your other sites like Spotify, you know, there's places where you can upload a banner or an image to your Spotify or other accounts, and you could say, you know, special bonus track if you download it at this location, and point someone over to Bandcamp. Or you could do that, you know, you could have a banner on your website.
But what about once you got to Bandcamp
Yeah.
and you see the CD there, and let's say, oh, I'm interested in that CD, and you want to tell people when they're in Bandcamp, you know, that they can get a bonus track there. That's kind of what I'm thinking.
So you're thinking you're in Bandcamp, you have a 10-song record. If you buy all 10 songs, you get the bonus song. Is that what you mean?
Yeah. Yeah. If you buy the album, the only place you can get this bonus track is that this is a live thing of me with Garth Hudson, whatever.
Right. Well, what you could do is you could, once the person purchases the record from you,
Mm-hmm.
you could say, you know, you could get in your description, you could say, check on the add me to the mailing list radio button. And then the person would check on that radio button. And if they signed up for your email list, they would get a separate email with a download link to either your Dropbox and maybe a separate page, a private link in Bandcamp or another section that has that secret track. So with Bandcamp,
everybody likes the secret.
Yeah, everybody likes the secret track, the bonus track, something exclusive, a limited edition. You know, there's only 100 copies of this vinyl. People love that. Like if you have a limited of, you know, even if you say it's limited edition or something.
Hey Matt, isn't there an option when you upload a song to make it album only? So it can't be downloaded as a single? Would that be, or are you talking about the album isn't actually on Bandcamp? Just
you know, the album is on
the album
Bandcamp.
is, but you have to buy the whole album to get the single. So I was just curious because I don't know if I've ever done this, but can you, when you upload the song, it has to be available for the album only. I didn't know if that was an option.
And there used to be a thing years ago when we were only making CDs
Right.
that sometimes you would put an extra track on there
Oh,
without labeling it.
Oh, add bonus
add
item.
bonus item. You see this here?
Oh, it says PDF, liner notes, booklets, photos.
Videos. Let's see what it says. Okay, so you can embed. You could probably embed an MP3 or a lyrics note PDF file video right here with this add bonus item. So maybe, yeah, if this person buys the entire album, it gives them this bonus item.
Interesting.
Yeah, description. Tell your fans about bonus items, hidden tracks in the description right here. So yeah, that's where you would say, if you buy all 10 out of 10 of the songs, you're going to get this private PDF liner note with lyrics and cool images and some behind the scenes photos, a music video, and a bonus song or whatever, like a little bundle or something like that. So an incentive to, get someone to buy the whole thing. Yeah. So we figured it out. Cool.
Thank you.
It's available.
Awesome. Yeah, there's been a little bit of extra chatter, and I confess that I forgot to lock down the chat, which is fine because it didn't confuse me too much this time. I usually just do it so that I don't get confused, because I get confused easily when there's a lot of chat going on in the chat. Where are the questions? This Davey, I'm sorry, Davey, I completely sailed by your question. It says, what would you say Bandcamp has done for you that you wouldn't have been able to achieve without it? And how does that contrast with available opportunities on another platform? Wow, that's a big question. We'll make that our last one. I'll let you do a sum up in your way, like on that for Bandcamp. And then, yeah, so you can probably stop sharing your screen now if you want, unless you need to.
I think I can stop it.
Full size face.
Oh, there we go.
There you go. Hey.
Yeah, so I would say I guess at the beginning it really helped me because the accessibility and just how I could quickly and easily put a record out there and securely capture revenue through the service. I think that was the biggest selling point for me when I first tried it.
Yeah.
I think it's a great option. I don't think I would necessarily only have Bandcamp for me personally. I think that you definitely could use that as a strategy and really direct your following just to Bandcamp. And there would definitely be a benefit by having your music exclusively in one place where they were going to get it, and the commission rate's low and it's clean and easy and it's safe. Those are all great things. I think it's something that can be combined with the efforts that you're making in other areas, with a website, with your Spotify and Apple distribution. That's, for me personally, what I think works right now. But I will say overall, if there's a way to excite your audience like right off the bat, or do a pre-release or a VIP release or a Patreon where you're doing a quarterly or monthly distribution of your music. I think anything like that that's a little bit more community based and customizable and like direct, consumer to artist. I think that excites people because they know it's going directly to you and you're in communication with them directly. And there's going to be less of a commission and you're going to capture that revenue, in that first wave of excitement when you release something. And then, you can do your pre-release and then release it to Amazon and Pandora, Spotify, all that stuff afterwards. That's one one thing that I've been trying in the last couple of years, and it seems to help, because if you just, like we looked at those stats at the beginning, if you just release it to Spotify, and those streaming services only, and you don't even attempt to kind of capture the people at the beginning, I think, you might you leave some money on the table there. You might miss some of that opportunity. I don't know. So that's my take on it.
I want to add something to that, actually, because I think, Matt, one of the things that I think I'm sort of like likening it to, I don't know, maybe even Kickstarter versus trying to do your own self-funded campaign. Like,
Right.
there's a credibility that comes with a platform like that that tends to get more people. And sometimes those, I don't know, and I can't speak to it personally. I've never used Kickstarter because for some reason and so I've tried to do my own crowdfunding, and I know I'm not making very much money doing it that way. And so I was thinking along the same lines of like trying to do some blast that brings people to your website versus something that takes you to a special place like you're describing. So I think everything you said is right on, and I also just can't say enough about like putting your music in multiple places, just more chances for people to find you, right? There's so many ways to get your music out there. So
Yeah. And I think you have to look at it as like, what is the most important thing? Like, do you want thousands and thousands of people to have access and to be able to discover you really quickly? Is that the priority, or do you want to cater this specific release to a certain circle of people that already know you and they want to support you directly, or maybe experiment with both, over time and see what works best for you. And I think everyone's trying to experiment and figure out, what matters the most and what is the priority, what really matters. So.
Well, we keep forgetting to mention that Bandcamp is offering this royalty-free Fridays, right? Where they don't take any fees out of where 100% of the sales go to the artist, right?
That's right. I totally forgot to mention that. Yeah, I think every 2 weeks in the last year or so during the pandemic, it's been royalty-free, commission-free Fridays. So that's pretty neat.
Yeah.
So it's an awesome feature.
I think that's what brought I thought that was just really, really cool what they were doing. As it is, they take such a small percentage compared to anything else, where you sold somebody buys your stuff on Amazon. I think it's like 35% or something.
Similar to Apple. Yeah.
Not that anybody's buying downloads. It's like, it's all streaming these days. So Bandcamp Friday is the first Friday of every month since the pandemic began. Thank you, Nicholas James. Another farm board member in the house. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot of friends in the audience, and we're going to turn it into gallery view so that Matt here, who is now a new friend to farm, and hopefully we'll see you more often. And when we can meet in person, we'll have you fly across country.
Yeah.
And join us. But yeah, we are super grateful that you spent your time with us today to talk about Bandcamp for a Tuesday Tech Talk. And I know everybody in the room appreciates it too. So we're going to go to gallery view and have everybody wave while I share what is up and coming. Thank you so much, Matt.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Look him up. I'm going to drop his links back in the chat again, as well as to let you know that the April mentor sessions, my friends, are open for business. Oh, and Claudia Schmidt was just added to the mentors. So if you were wondering, we've got 6 great mentors coming up in April. Ian Gorman, one of our tech talkers on home recording, live sound. Brandon O'Sullivan, and if you don't know his name, I'm sorry for you. Jamie Harris, who did a tech talk with us. She's a wonderful artist from Nashville who is also performs with Mary Gaucher. She is a really super technically savvy, StreamYard, YouTube streaming. Jamie's doing our mentor session. Oh gosh, who am I forgetting? Mike Green of Mike Green and Associates, John McCutcheon's booking agent, among many others. Matt Watroba, my dear friend Matt Watroba, folk DJ, community sing leader, wonderful performer. You can talk to him about pretty much anything. He's been around the business. So I think that's everybody. And of course, Claudia, world-class performer, artist, poet, storyteller, singer, you name it. You can find all that out at farmvirtualconnections.org. And that is where we will leave you today. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. Again, thanks, Matt. I put your links in there. Good. All right, you guys. I'm a little loopy today. No different than any other day. Say goodnight. Good night. Here comes the abrupt farewell. Bye-bye now.